Hello and welcome back to Fire Emblem Order of the Crimson Arm 100% Growth's low turn count playthrough. This video will be tackling Chapter 10, our second Fog of War map, and luckily our last one for a few maps. Our main goals are to just, well, one, kill the boss, but two, recruit a unit with Melia in the bottom left of the map. The unit's name is Brendan. I'll talk about him now because I deploy him a few times but never use him. He's a level 11 monk with 9 magic. Good speed and skill though. Light tomes give extra bulk, however, I wasn't aware of this when recording it. There is a unit who has a higher light rank than him, who joins with better stats than him, who has more utility than him, and doesn't require a promotion item. He's a secret unit, but that doesn't change the fact that we have to recruit her. If you played the game before, you know who it is. You will be seeing her used instead of Brendan when I need light magic filler, which is very rare. Anyway, there are a couple enemy types in this map. There are Wyvern Riders, Knights, Shamans mainly. The Shamans have all sorts of tomes. Nosferatu, Luna, there are also some fighters. Nosferatu, Luna, some have Eclipse. We don't really care about the Eclipse Shamans. They're as pathetic as always. We're focusing a lot of experience in this map onto Wayland and onto Alchemist because they would like the extra stats. They also just have a lot of time to mess around because this is Turnfloored at 5 turns. It's not a lot to talk about because it's just a Fog of War map. We're marching a boss killer to the boss. I guess some things worth noting are Robert was deployed for more fog vision. We get to heal a decent amount with Elaine. And I've totally dropped Gerwolf at this point as a combat unit. I wasn't sure if I'd be using him or Negu in the long term. There's a unit in Chapter 12 who outclasses Gerwolf whenever I need sword and axe combat that's mounted, which is never. And Negu just has better stats than Gerwolf at this point. While she doesn't have access to the axes, she has better speed, so she can double things with a lance. Not to mention, she's already hit D-rank lances, so she has access to, well, she hasn't yet hit D-rank lances, but she'll be hitting it soon. So she has access to 1 to 2 range, where Gerwolf is pretty far off from D-axes. Camille used Seer to kill a shaman. She uses it a decent amount. I kinda lied back in Chapter 5. She doesn't really get to do that much combat with Seer, although she doesn't end up doing a tiny amount either. Alchemist hits B-rank lances in this map, which allows him to use silvers. One thing I forgot to mention is that Brave weapons are now A-rank, and silver weapons can be used at D-rank. We don't really use Nosferatu much in this run. There's one chapter where it could have helped, but Camille was just barely too slow. I don't end up using one of the body rings, so I probably should have used it. Alchemist has now hit B-rank lances. I just wanted to check. And now we're working to go to the boss area. Sven and Lani both are able to kill the boss. Lani needs a double kill lance crit, while Sven can one-shot him. But Lani needs the experience more. Probably would have been better to give the boss kill to Sven, because Lani is able to very easily cap out her level, if I wanted to. But I decided not to. Miss Knight is chipped down by Celia. She gets a level up. I'm sorry I'm commenting on every little thing. But this map is kind of boring. Negu's combat stats are looking pretty bad, but as in Chapter 15X, her stats are just barely good enough to be on par with enemies, and after that, she's able to match enemies just by swapping 2 stronger weapons. Unfortunately, she'll never be the most powerful combat unit in our army, but she will never be the weakest. Celia was actually treated with the iron bow instead of steel bow, not for her avoid, but that she wouldn't one around that shaman. That her not one running that shaman is better for us than her doing so. It means that Sven is able to get a kill, which just makes him able to barely breach the threshold to reach level 13. We need him to promote next chapter, which is why I wanted to bum rush his experience as fast as possible. We also couldn't have killed him with Celia because we needed someone to move to reveal the wyverns, which we killed with Niku and Celia. This crit was just in the RN string. Negu could have killed him over enemy phase, player phase, because he's a hand axe. That would have been better in the long run for her experience, but again, she's perfectly fine in the short term. She kills Boleslav up here, kills a wyvern, and then Elaine moves down, and Robert moves here. Originally, I was planning on having him equip a steel sword, just that he would potentially be targeted to give Elaine another men target, but that didn't work out. Lani is just barely too weak to not, well, not barely, she's kind of weak right now, which is why we're pumping a lot of experience into her. Getting her a boss kill is a very easy way to ensure that she gets good stats. This is Brendan. I deploy him in a couple of maps, but he's just used for mook things like visiting shops, and in this case, revealing a shaman. This is one of Camille's very last level ups before she promotes. Sven just moves over. None of my units on the left matter now. I just moved them over so that, just to see if I missed any experience in that area. I didn't. There are a couple enemies that are to the right, like a couple cavaliers, but they don't matter. I also moved Robert over to the left just to see. Now this is where I have to stop the movie recording and rewind a bit. Apologies about that. I messed things up while I was recording this because I got briefly distracted. I have to have Boleslav kill the wyvern before I burn any arrows. Boleslav reaches level 12, and B rank bows. He'll be able to use the silver bow, and then once he promotes, he'll have access to most of the bows in the game, which is nice. We don't have access to any silver bows yet, but we will be able to gain access to at least one soon. After burning some more ends, Lani double crits the boss. Apologies for forgetting to turn on animations. With this, she hits level 12, and her stats are just good enough that she's able to one-round enemies on her own next chapter. We also get another promotion item. We'll be going to the convoy. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time for Chapter 11, Cortez, where we kill that king. See ya!